OK, let's get some instant reaction. Here is Thomas Tuchel, the Chelsea boss, talking to Des Kelly.
It's 12 games and counting unbeaten, 10 clean sheets, but does that feel a little bit like an opportunity missed today?
A little bit, but pitch is super hard to play. And we had a couple of chances to go 1-0 ahead. And in the end, of course, they trouble you, they put pressure on you, and the more minutes you need to make a goal, the more they believe. It's normal. But there were enough chances, yeah. But sometimes it's like this. We cannot. I don't want to be too harsh now. It happens sometimes that it's hard to score, that you miss some big chances, then you go out with a 0-0. It's like this.
That was the story, wasn't it? Particularly Kai Havertz. Nothing seems to drop for him, does it,
yeah.
at the moment?
Yeah, sometimes it's like this. As long as we have chances, as long as we have a lot of touches in the box and we don't concede too many chances, the results will be there. It's like this. Sometimes you need to accept the result.
You changed the system a little bit today, and almost a false number 9, I suppose, is the phrase you used. Yeah. Do you think it worked successfully?
Yeah, I think he's pretty much a 9. I don't think he's a false number 9. He is a 9 because he likes to be in the high position. It's for him not always necessary to drop to number 10 and turn. For me, his biggest strength is that he loves to be in the high position, and then that he loves to arrive in the box and in the 6-yard box even. He loves to be there. He likes to have the last touch, and that's why for me he can play number 9, and he played number 9 today.
And of course you've got the foundation of a solid defence, another clean sheet, and your goalkeeper as well today.
Good goalkeeping, good defending. Yeah, can always be in trouble. Like I said, the pitch was very difficult to play, very slippery, very bouncy. So of course it can happen any time. And latest games we could block everything, and he did not have to make the biggest saves today. He saved us also, like that the task was not even more difficult with 1 goal behind. And so it was good performance from him, and of course gives us confidence to not concede. But the boys are disappointed in the dressing room, which is a good sign. We draw away, we play a good game, but everybody is disappointed. It's good.
Thank you very much, Thomas.
Thanks.
You're going to stand and watch a 0-0. That's not a bad 0-0 to stand and watch.
I still can't believe it was 0-0. Both teams pushing forward, throwing bodies forward, chances. Both goalkeepers made good saves. It was a good, entertaining game, and you wouldn't have got a price on it being 0-0 at the start of the game from the way both teams played. But that's what it was, and it's a point drop for Chelsea. 2 points drop for Chelsea.
Yeah, it's a better result for Leeds, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I would say about both teams, I think they huffed and puffed without any real quality in the final third. I think that was the defining factor of this game. They lacked quality in the final third. No one really created that outright chance that you thought, wow, that's a clear-cut bread and butter chance that's been created from a bit of good play. That didn't happen today. The final third, the decision making, the quality at that end of the pitch was probably not where the managers would like it to be. But I agree with Joe, definitely 2 points dropped by Chelsea. I think a good point for Leeds.
Absolutely. Let's get some quick reaction then. Ben Chilwell is with Des Kelly. Let's see what he has to say about the game. Des.
Ben, the unbeaten run goes on. I suppose that's what happens. You get a 0-0 when everyone predicts goals as well.
Yeah, I think obviously coming into the game, like you said, people would have probably predicted goals. The way Leeds play is obviously pretty free-flowing, and they're a difficult team to play against. They're athletic, switch positions a lot, on the pitch, and it was a tough game. It was, it wasn't the best pitch for both teams to play on, and we're going to come away disappointed that we didn't get the win. We created chances, and like I said, it was disappointing that we didn't get the win.
Yeah, was it just the finish, the final ball? I mean, there were chances first half.
Yeah, I mean, there were chances. I had a few chances. I had one in the second half that I should have scored. So, I think we're going to be, we're going to want more from each other in the final third, and that's something that we're trying to add. Defensively as a team, we're solid and we're not conceding, but I think, going forward, we're going to want to try and score more goals to, get us these sort of wins.
Yeah, it's nice that you can fall back on a clean sheet, and your goalkeeper contributed to that as well, made a couple of good saves.
He did, yeah. We know that when it comes down to it, we can rely on Edu to, then 1 or 2 opportunities in the game that he has to concentrate and make a vital save for us. We know that he's going to do that for us.
It's interesting for Chelsea players at the moment because you have to think on your feet out there, because the manager's always changing the system, rotating the squad. He challenges you.
It is, yeah. I think it's a good thing when you've got so many good players in each position that are all ready to play. It just means that during the week, during training, everyone's fighting for that spot. in the starting 11, and that just challenges all of us to push each other to obviously try and get that start on the weekend. And like I said, that's only a positive thing.
Got a draw, but it's very tight up there in that battle for the top four. Those 2 points could be costly.
Yeah, like you said there, that's why we're disappointed coming away from it. It's very tight between third and eighth. There's not many points, so these sort of games we want to be winning, and it's a difficult game away, and if you can't win it, it is a positive that you're not going to lose it either.
Thanks, Ben.
Thank you.
All the best.
And the disappointment really comes because it's so tight towards the top there. He knows that any points dropped in this battle for the top four could cause them a problem. I mean, he's pretty philosophical. You get days like this, you get games like this, and probably another reminder of the fact that a striker in that team today, or a striker that is scoring goals at the moment, would have made a big difference.
Yeah, big difference. And Kai Havertz, he did well today. He did okay. His movement was good. The chances fell to him, and he just was a bit unlucky. I think Tuchel was very analytical about it there. But you put a centre forward in this team, and I think it's a different story here. This good movement from him. He gets across, just that that instinct of a striker. They'll just be a little bit more sharper there. Here he gets in, ball drops. Well, that was comedy of errors, wasn't it? But this one here, comes inside, lovely ball fed in there, great touch. He hits it well. It's just not quite happening for him. The movements are good, the actions are good. When he drops in, listen, he's not a number 9. Here, he takes an extra touch too many. It's a good save. Again, this is later on in the game. Even if that's Giroud today, I can only think that he didn't bring Giroud on because he's got the Champions League game in mind. But if that's Giroud there, he probably buries it. Kai Havertz is a good player, fantastic player. He just needs to find his feet, and it's going to take time. But Chelsea desperately need a number 9 to finish off the chances. Everything else was going around. Defensively, they look sound, but it is 2 points dropped.
I think Tuchel will be pleased that the chances are coming. They're getting opportunities. Yeah. Yes, they're not being finished, but if you look at Kai Havertz's previous clubs, he's spelled at Leverkusen, he finishes opportunities like that. He gets in positions like that. He's someone who can put the ball in the back of the net. He can execute. He can finish. So getting the opportunities, I think, is the most important thing for Tuchel.
So would you persevere with him in the false 9 for now?
Listen, when you outlays as much as it has been for a player like Havertz, huge amount of investment, you've got to persevere. You can't just throw that away and say, a couple of games he hasn't scored a goal. That kind of outlay, you've got to give him an opportunity to keep performing.
Yeah, I just question whether in this system, whether the false 9 is the best for him. I don't mind him in there. He can do things. He's floating round. But I just think there needs to be a pivot. And when Giroud plays and he's at his best, and when Tammy is at moments as well, they do that. But we missed it today for sure. Because Leeds, we were talking about Leeds before the game, they don't deal with crosses well. And we just didn't get that quality. Reece James, the best crosser of the ball at the club, he wasn't playing. I think they don't deal well with set pieces, they don't deal well with crosses, and we just didn't get enough balls into the box and attacking it well enough.
When you both stand here, both before the game and now, saying they need a number 9, if I'm Tammy Abraham, who we believe he's got this sort of recurring issue with his ankle, he's not involved. If I'm him sitting home, I'm thinking, well, I'm here. And if I'm Olivier Giroud, I'm thinking, well, I'm a striker that scored goals at the very top level. Yeah. You don't think they have already in the squad what they need for next season?
If they want to be Champions League contenders, Championship contenders, then Giroud, obviously, when Frank was here, now under this management, is the same. He's been a bit part player, and he's his age, obviously. He's not a young Giroud, he's his age now. He's at a different stage of his career, so I don't expect he expects to play every game. I think Tammy will be putting himself in there, but again, he has to get fit and stay fit. But I think the levels at this club at the moment, I think they'll go into the market to buy an out-and-out number 9. Hard one's on everyone's lips. He's the player in form. He's the one that a lot of clubs are sitting there thinking, if we get him, that takes us from being a contender to actually being a real chance of winning, a proper contender, not just someone who's on the edge of it, right in amongst it.
How do you see that Chelsea front line looking next season? Because we saw Pulisic playing in a new position today. They've got a lot of brilliant players up there, but they still feel like they're just sorting the jigsaw puzzle out a little bit.
And he's only been in the job 5 minutes. He's getting to know his players. I mean, Christian Pulisic today played in that right wing back position, which I actually think suits him. He gave us width, he gave us penetration, and what it does is it simplifies the game for him. He gets in these positions, no one's stopping him in that position when he does that. And you need to rebuild him, you rebuild his confidence. At the back end of last season, he was Chelsea's best player by a mile. He was brilliant. He's had his injury troubles, and when he plays in there, you're just asking him to do what's completely natural for him. Get on your shoulder. When you get it, shift it, bang. Here it's a lovely. He doesn't quite catch this shot, but he just shifts it there, bang. When he does that, player, and we're rebuilding him. He's a great player. And you add Ziyech into that, Mount can play there, Havertz can play in them positions. There's an abundance of talent, and that's what he done well today as well. He done the other side of the game well, which shows he's learning, which shows he's buying into the system. He'll be fine. We've got an abundance of talent in that position, and it's just a case of Hudson-Odoi as well. Just which one, horses for courses, different matches, different players. Bit of a few strange decisions from Tuchel today when he was bringing on Callum, and he seemed to play central for parts of it, but that is not a problem. It's dealing with a number 9, getting a regular goal scorer who's going to get you 25, 30 goals a season, and you're in the races then.
Because they're solid. They're solid at the back, and they've got a big week coming up now. They've got a Champions League game, they've got an FA Cup game. This is going to be an interesting few days.
Yeah, it will be. They've got 10 clean sheets in 12 games. So that tells you that there's something right at the back.
Stats you would have dined out on in your career.
Yeah,
you probably did.
Beautiful. I mean, Rudiger and Co at the back will be walking into the change room saying, we've done our job. And then it's about the domino effect throughout the team, get the confidence further up the pitch so they can start scoring goals. And the platform for any successful team is to have a solid base, and this is at the moment is what he's trying to create here. And you see them running games there; they're winnable games, all of them games there. You can see, and it's going to be. Obviously the season's defined by your results towards this end of the season. Yeah, I think he's got them in a good position now, where he'll be sitting there and I said, regroup now. We've obviously this is a result we probably should have won. We'd like to have won, we haven't, but they go again. That's it.
It shows you how difficult it is, though, this season particularly. He comes in, 12 games, 10 clean sheets, picking up wins, not conceding goals, and still there's nothing guaranteed for that top 4. Like we said, if the teams behind win their games, Chelsea is 7th again.
No, we said at the start of the season, didn't we? Said it's going to be the tightest season for everything, and even the relegation battle's tightening up now for them. But at that top end of the season, like you said, if the teams went to find themselves in seventh position again, which is incredible considering the last 10 games and the results and the performances as well. They look reborn, they look rejuvenated, the players. They're running, they're working hard. I question, that's another story, why that shouldn't have been done in the previous 10 games. Yeah. But there's a lot of quality in this team. There's a manager who's obviously very smart, and like Rio said before the game, he's getting the base right, and once the foundations are in place, it's just about sprinkling the players where they need them, and for me that's in that number 9 position. And that's not disrespect to Giroud or Tammy, because I think Tammy's getting better and better and better, and he can be that player, but bring someone in to push him. Giroud's, like Rio said, he's not going to be able to play every game, he's 34, but I can only think he didn't play tonight because Tuchel would have been thinking about Wednesday night in mind. That's the only reason.
You bring someone like, if you bring another striker in, for instance, that's part of being at a top club. It's never going to get to a point where, say for instance, Tammy's sitting there and saying, I'm outright number 1 and that's it, no one's going to be. You've got to be jostling for positions. I think bringing someone else in only makes someone like Tammy better. Yeah. That mentality that you have to have then is that, okay, you've brought someone in, I'm going to show you. And what happens, you play in all these competitions, you get opportunities. You get opportunities to come in and impact games and become an integral member of this team. Whether you're starting every game or not, the squad wins trophies, not the first 11.